SCORE has shown us that it is possible that we can make a change and stick to it.
South Africa was once home to a thriving clothing and textile industry.
We've seen CMTs close, retailers really struggling to keep sales afloat and retain their workforce.
We have companies that cannot keep up with the cost because of the overheads, the increase in electricity, in transport, the increase in tariffs, all adds to the cost of the clothing, and that's making it very difficult for our industry.
The South African clothing and textile industry comes off the back of several decades of challenges. Somewhere in the late 90s into the 2000s, it suffered an extraordinary deluge of imports, particularly from China. We used to see at that stage tens of thousands of jobs being lost, factories shuttering everywhere. Into the late 2000s, we started to turn the tide. It's been a slow process. We've managed to stabilize the industry to a large extent, still managed to grow jobs in the areas. We still struggle with retrenchments, but on balance, we're maintaining some level of stability, and we're looking forward to growth.
With the goal of addressing the key challenges facing South Africa's clothing manufacturing sector, the International Labour Organization, together with the Clothing Bargaining Council, has been implementing the SCORE program. The SCORE program aims to improve productivity and working conditions in small and medium-sized enterprises and has brought significant improvements.
My role as a SCORE trainer is to empower teams and organizations to build sustainability, workplace cooperation, and continuous improvement. The challenges that we see are the absence of processes, time and money are very scarce in our business.
Coming into an organization where there was such good support from senior management, not only in paying lip service to the commitment they were giving, but actually being involved in the coaching and mentoring of the team that had been selected. That is probably the most important ingredient in seeing a success in a program like this.
It's been super positive for the business. We implemented morning meetings. There is now visibility where production and targets are concerned. The SCORE program placed an emphasis on pre-production planning, and that has helped a lot in managing the stress levels in the production plant, managing delivery dates as well as repair rates. We have seen the trainees emerging as leaders in the work environment.
When they choose me to go to this school, I learned a lot from Charlene, because at first when I was running the line, I was a little bit nervous. She put so much strength on me.
The biggest impact is when employees have the realization that they are empowered to contribute to improvement in the workplace.
In the SCORE program, we learn to communicate better, to treat our workspaces better, and we could think better as well. There's many ways that you can sort problems out beforehand. We lose production because our communication wasn't strong enough. Our communication is better, we get our styles faster, and we know what we have to do.
SCORE challenged us with how to do things better. So we came up with things to implement in our departments. We had to explain to people what change really, how good it can be, and sticking to it. It takes the whole team to make it work.
Our CEO keeps monthly meetings with us, telling us how the factory is doing. We implemented that she should give us feedback more often so that we all can know what's going on. I do feel more involved because now I also know things that I always used to wonder about, so I can come back and give my colleagues feedback.
I used to come in, they could see on my face how the day is going to be. But with this SCORE training, I smile a lot more. I'm more open, I'm more talkative for them, because that is how I win them to work with me. We understand each other more now and work together.
When an organization is pressurized with orders that need to go out, it's very difficult to balance time for improvement As the organisation matures in the implementation process, improvement becomes part of the way they do business, but in the early days it's definitely in addition to.
SCORE was very helpful for us. We minimize our wastage, work much faster. Even around the factory itself, the slippery floors and things, we put strips there.
There's been that newfound energy around why we do things, what does it mean?
You know now, if you are doing that operation, you are not sit and wait. If you don't have work, you need to see which one is struggling and then you just help each other.
We are achieving a lot of good feedback from our client, good quality going out, our work going out on time.
At the sector level, collaboration with key stakeholders has been crucial.
The trade union SACTU is a long-standing ally of the ILO. SACTU is a huge believer in South Africa's adoption of the SCORE program in the clothing industry. The concept of trying to solve basic productivity problems, obstacles on the shop floor, through understanding first and foremost that workers have absolute intuitive knowledge of the problems because they deal with them all day. And secondly, that knowledge should be given the space to be shared on an equal footing with their managers and their employers in the interest of solving problems. It's a very basic solution. It's a remarkable solution because it's done so seldom. The SCORE program has a wonderful methodology for doing that. The union's incredibly supportive of it, and in fact, we'd like to see a lot more of it being done.
If you don't have the leadership on board, the challenge is how far will that go? Will they be given time to do more improvements, which is the intent of SCORE?
At the policy level, the SCORE program aligns with national strategies to enhance productivity and decent work.
The master plan was launched in 2019. It's a pact to revive productivity in South Africa.
Retailers, manufacturers, the trade union and government come together in an entity called the Master Plan to try to drive common growth. The Master Plan is probably the most creative, most advanced, most sophisticated and most inclusive process that exists in the country to get that achieved.
The ILO SCORE program will allow the clothing industry to prosper and create new jobs and have growth in our economy and reduce the unemployment that we have in South Africa.
The ILO SCORE program continues to make a transformative impact on South Africa's clothing manufacturing sector. Together with the tripartite constituents, we address productivity constraints systematically, resulting in lasting improvements in SMEs' productivity, competitiveness, and working conditions. As we look to the future, continued collaboration and commitment will drive further progress.
I would advise other companies to do such training with SCORE because it's very, very important. They might not see that it's important before they do it, but after the program, they're going to see it helps a lot.